I have been working with a sample amplifier in the past few weeks, and this experience once again shows us how crucial and significant this respective environment or environmental construction actually is for us. I possess an illustration. That incident occurred a couple of years ago in the past. I was on vacation there on Friday mornings. Go towards the center, get some rolls, take a little breath of fresh air. And I had so much pain in my left foot. That hurts so much. I mean, it really hurts so much. I had tears streaming down my face. I felt nauseous, and the color of my eyes transformed into a deep, dark black. Go hobble, make your way back to the holiday home and take off the shoe, then proceed to take off the sock. The front foot was completely black, violet. It was a genuine occurrence. What I am telling you at this moment is the symptom that is related to the current situation. At that time, I experienced precisely this symptom. And it is identical when, for instance, a patient with depression is seated in a talk show and expresses, "I felt extremely terrible. I was unable to leave my bed." The viewer watches this show and thinks, "What if that happens to me?" Next to him sits a fitness trainer. "Oh, I was at competitions. No one attacked me. I always come across strong. I was no longer capable of implementing even the simplest tasks. I was unable to spread any more bread for my daughter." And viewers rethink, "Oh God, what if I get depressed? What if I already own one?" This situational representation of a symptom, currently existing in the sense, we need to expand and enhance. We have to increase the investigation radius to gather more comprehensive information. For example, like me. If I tell you now, on Thursday, I was on the coast, on the beach with my skimboard. I've been surfing a bit in the surf. Such a skimboard is an incomparable, small, very light surfboard made of wood, or I had one made of foam. And there you go running with the sprint, throwing the thing in front of you, jumping on it, and the things are well waxed, so you don't slip down. Yes, and in one attempt, one part of the foot was on the board, the other part was already on the ground. It tore the foot apart, and I broke my foot. To be more precise, the joint structure in the base phalanx was impacted by the recent unforeseen events. And now you also say, "Wow, that's obviously not good if you fracture your foot. But hey, then it's clear why you had pain on Friday." And I affirm, yes, I knew. But I didn't go to the hospital until Friday afternoon. I drove there myself with the manual car, constantly pressing the clutch. Nice in Lichingen, hospital, take it easy. And then I'm standing there, right where the barrier is coming down and the bridge is turning. I believe there's another 15 minutes of waiting. That was a really painful experience. Nice, plaster foot. Made a few phone calls to arrange for someone to pick me up, then everything was okay. 6 weeks of plaster? Just what I want to say. What is the background there? And we must not consider symptoms without this background. Additionally, the depression patient possesses a history that he or she may not necessarily disclose initially, that he or she may not have the ability to disclose completely. During therapy, it is of utmost importance for me to thoroughly examine and understand this background in order to illustrate that an emotional, cognitive, and physical reaction is a natural and beneficial response to the underlying factors and circumstances that have shaped it. I do not want to begin trivializing a depression symptomatology at this moment with anyone. That is not the main point. It is not about initiating an argument and stating that you are solely to blame for your current condition and circumstances. However, in our personal lives, we generally have a greater degree of involvement, as well as more opportunities for participation than we may initially comprehend or fully grasp. And by displaying the background, we can more effectively adjust these opportunities for participation in a stronger manner. And a highly tangible possibility would be rather mundane. You begin writing along in a very concrete manner. But this time, not necessarily what you experience on the mental level, but what occurs in the vicinity of you. Grab a clipboard, put a piece of paper on it. You are lying next to the bed from morning on day 1, and as soon as you awaken, it will be written down. And everything that you observe that you do not like, you should start writing it down. Of course, I also have this construction site. I wake up in the morning. My wife cleverly always sets the alarm clock so that she dozes off for another 20 minutes. I'm awake right away. That's okay. But what I don't like is that I end up spending about 10 minutes on my phone first, checking who has written, what's happening on YouTube, in the studio behind. And there are multiple points at different times throughout the day where I would say, yes, that bothers me. These are not construction sites that I would say are bothering me in a massive way. How can you recognize a large construction site? Probably you don't recognize a big construction site by the fact that I have a big construction site, but by how often I am mentally drawn there in everyday life. Background stories will be provided for nearly all symptoms, which can also be ascribed to psychological processes. And you are permitted to acquire the ability to work out these backstories, either because they take place in the mind or also in the external environment surrounding the characters. And as pretty as a client mentioned last week, no, I can't do that, because my list would be too long. I would suggest thinking about it for the second time. That is no excuse for not starting.
Have you already seen my most important video for you? You will learn to understand your symptoms and find the path to change. Feel free to also watch this video here. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell to always stay informed about the latest posts.